Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your October Soul Session. I am Marlowe if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump right in and look at the energies that are coming up for you guys for the month of October. So, first card out, we have the Ace of Wands, then we have the Ace of Swords. And mind you, this is the After Tarot. I don't read this in the reverse because the entire deck is already in the reverse. You know what I'm saying? So if you see me flipping cards over, don't freak out. But anywho, and I know you guys noticed like this came out like that. But what that just kind of says to me, because I don't know, this deck is like magical to me in my personal opinion, but moving right along. And this is literally, I don't know why we're having this whole conversation, but I'm a Taurus. You see how jacked up this looks? This is literally like the deck I started this channel with, by the way. Isn't that beautiful? Little nostalgia for that ass, Taurus. Anyway, but coming out of September and into October, I don't know if my guides are going to do the same thing they did for Libra. I pretty much usually only look at this card, but I didn't record September. So they were saying like the first kind of row of cards is going to give me insight into September, but we shall see. But what this is looking like for me, it's like a renewed sense of hope is what they're telling me. I was going to say passion, but they're saying hope for my Tauri coming into October. And I feel this is more or less transitioning out of September because I feel now you guys are able to see potential in a person, job, career path, and yourself that you've never quite seen prior to this particular time frame. And it's interesting. I don't know where this applies. I mean, for my network people, it does. For the week before last, which would be September. It's September 23rd that I'm recording this. So it would have been the Friday before this one. I don't know what the date was, but that week we had a weekly reading, and the card for that Saturday was the 10 of Wands. And literally my guides just flashed that to me. So what I'm gathering from that is this is literally like a burden you guys were carrying. It's a whole bunch of stuff that Tauruses were going through, right? That were unnecessary burdens that you were carrying. And it's kind of relinquishing all of those burdens. And that's what kind of caused this fresh start, right? And I feel even more so with you guys mentally. Oh, this is interesting. I can't ignore that. At the bottom of the deck is the freaking star. I can we just take it? Screw it. We're taking it. But more or less, it's like I feel like there was a mental block. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that mental block came from the fact that you guys were carrying so much stuff unnecessarily, like things that weren't your responsibility, if that's making sense. And that's kind of what was like clouding your head, because it's like a misunderstanding of what your responsibilities were. And it's a little bit of like hoop jumping and overcompensating that I'm kind of picking up with that. And of course, that's my homegirl. Of course, that could happen, at work where, maybe you're short staffed and you're taking on a whole bunch of shifts trying to help out and like neglecting yourself in the process, or being in a friendship or a relationship and realizing that, you're carrying all of these burdens for other people unnecessarily, or, if you're in a relationship, you got kids, you're doing more for the kids than the other parent is, like whatever the case, right? But it's more or less you guys setting yourselves free. And I feel like that's what's really giving you the mental clarity that you needed, because focusing so much on other people and things outside of yourself were blocking you from being able to focus on yourself, right? And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, I love the Five of Pentacles in this deck because I feel like your girl right here, she's a bad bitch. You feel what I'm saying? She is a baddie, okay? Because, of course, we have our people who are outside of the church, all sad and decrepit. It's knowing ain't nobody coming to help me, da da da. Homegirl realized the lights was on in the church. She went up there, went to the rectory. She went and talked to the priest. Got her a little bit of bread or something. She apparently ain't getting no shoes, but maybe they just ain't have her size. But anywho, but she went into the storehouse and got some things. Homegirl pays her tithes, and she know that when she pay tithes into the church, that the church is supposed to provide provisions. You understand what I'm saying? So more or less what this is saying, Taurus, this is saying to me that this is a self-deliverance, if you will. It's more or less as opposed to staying in a lack mentality and being downtrodden and like nothing works out for me. My life is so unfair. I need need someone to save me, to rescue me. You elected to rescue yourself. So that's what I love about this deck. So that's my bad each card. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, dude, okay, holy mother. All right. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. That's nice. We got 3 cards there. So all in all, dude, what is legit looking like? It's like, and I often say this a lot, no one's coming to save you, you know, and it makes me think about the zombie apocalypse reading I did. Y'all, those of you who've been with me for years will remember that. But this card came out when I did the zombie apocalypse reading. You know what I'm saying? It's like no one's coming to save you. And I believe that wholeheartedly. It's like that's the truth about life. It's like people can do 1,000 things to try to help us. You know what I'm saying? But you have to want to save yourself. It's the same thing with therapy. Like you could legit go to therapy and sit with your therapist, but if you don't do the work, it's like your therapist isn't going to save you because that's not what the job is. It's like you have to give a fuck enough about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? In order for things in your life to shift, because it'll just be a perpetual cycle of leading a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You know what I'm saying? People can teach you how to, you know, fill out FAFSA for college, but they can't fill it out for you. You know what I'm saying? It's only so much that you can do. You have to take that initiative. But I say all of that to say that with this Ace of Wands, I feel like you guys now have, like, you've released all of those distractions to where you have the initiative to do so, right? So it's like Tauruses in the month of October are y'all fucking with y'allself, and that's what's up. So anywho, next card, we have Justice that came out for Libra. So that is your Libran brethren and sisterin. And I feel with this is more or less the scales are balancing, because I really do feel Taurus. Let me turn these over too. We have the Emperor here. That's Aries energy. Well, shit, damn Jesus. We have the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, dude. So here's the thing. God, and then the star being at the bottom, like this is dope shit, Taurus. I can't even bullshit. Like the whole thing is, dude, I feel like Taurus is coming into this point, yo. It's almost been like feeling like you were at the bottom of the wheel or getting the short end of the stick, or very much being like these dudes in the 5 of Pentacles. It's like you guys being on the outs and things just not working in your favor. And I think, and this is very similar to the message I gave to Libra, it's almost feeling as if like the universe was against you, or you had some type of string of bad luck. And I mean, child, look, I can co-sign with that, because y'all know I'm a double Taurus, my Taurus sun and my moon, and it's also and my Mercury. So child, I feel you. It's been crazy. But it's more or less feeling like life or the universe is against you, and you have like a string of bad luck. But and then shout out to my best friend who's an Aquarius. But he totally sent me a podcast by Eckhart Tolle that was talking about order and chaos. And that's exactly what it is that I'm seeing here. It's more or less like you guys going through this transitional period. So it's like being at the bottom of the wheel of fortune, proverbially speaking, with it being reversed. In the month of October is shifting to you guys being at the top of the wheel. But it's not anything about you being punished or like karma, or you did something bad or you did something wrong. It's much like how I tell you guys about the is not is paradigm. It's like the is not has to manifest before the is, because the universe likes to fill voids. So if there's no void there to fill, then something new can't come in. You feel what I'm saying? So with this Justice card, that's saying to me that the scales are balancing. You feel what I'm saying? And they're balancing in your favor. And with this Emperor, it's you guys stepping back into a position of power. But my guides are saying specifically to not lose sight of where it is that you've come from, because during that transitional period that you guys were in, there's a lot of lessons that you guys learned And my assumption would be specifically in reference to, and then I mean, this is all Libra season kind of stuff, in reference to your relationships and friendships with people, your connections with people, whether that's business, romantic, familial, whatever the case. But it's being conscious of overcompensating or a lack of reciprocity, right? Because I feel like that's a big lesson to be learned here, because it's almost like the vibe I'm getting is almost like Taurus making everything and everyone else a priority before themselves. You feel me? And you have to take care of yourself. Like, I mean, even if you're a parent, it's very easy to fall into that mindset as a parent, thinking you just completely self-neglect, right? And, make your kid a number one priority. But it's like, if you're not taking care of yourself and, you end up hitting the wall, having a whole breakdown or something, then you can't be anything for your kid, right? So it's almost like, and this is just what I'm getting intuitively, child, because this goes from this Emperor to this 10 of Pentacles. It's like you taking your energy back. And it's not saying you guys cutting everybody off and being like, fuck people. No, I'm not saying that. But it's like, is this epic shift that's occurring where all of the energy that you were putting out, like with that 10 of Wands kind of energy, like you're giving all of this away, it's turning it back into yourself, pouring into yourself and being more discerning with what it is that you're investing in. So it's kind of more or less you coming into a place to where you're seeing yourself as a priority. And I feel with this 10 of Pentacles, this is something that's always been like in the ethers or within reach for you guys. But if we were to say proverbially speaking, and this is the same thing, it came out reversed for Libra too. So child, I don't know, maybe that's Venus trying to tell y'all something. But anywho, but it's like if you were in this kind of energy, you know what I'm saying, pouring into everyone else and not pouring back into yourself, it's like you can't manifest from this place. So of course you're going to have a lot of this, like freaking, well, actually this would be upright in typical tarot, but having 5 of Pentacles energy, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Star in the reverse kind of energy. And my guides are saying specifically money slipping through your fingers. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this, and I feel like I said this to y'all in August, where I was saying something along the lines of how it is that you perceive yourself, like that affects your money. And that's very true for Taurus people. It's like, if you see yourself as less than, your money is always going to reflect your state of yourself. But how I'm seeing it in these cards is like it's speaking to your life in general. It's almost like needing to be needed. It's like hoop jumping and being of service, or it's all kinds of stuff I'm picking up, dude. It's almost like, it's like the strong friend complex, really. It's like Taurus being in this place where it's like, it's almost like being in service to people somehow, or like, I'm trying to get the word out. Self-sacrifice. Thank you. It's almost like, okay, well, that makes sense. Oh my God, they're saying with the whole 5 of Pentacles thing and saving yourself and no one's coming to save you. It's almost like the mentality that I feel that got Taurus here in the first place was self-sacrifice. So it was this thought, this misconception that if I self-sacrifice, that I'm somehow going to be rewarded for that. But then you found yourself outside the church and it was snowing, right? And it's the thought of like, I do so much for the church. I pay my tithes, and they're going to come outside, bring me some food, right? And ain't nobody coming, because you have to take the initiative yourself. And then it's like you could feel a sense of like, embitteredness of like, well, why, when I've helped all of these people, and I've said this to you guys for years, ain't nobody asked you to do that. Ain't nobody ask you to do that. Ain't nobody ask you to self-sacrifice, lay yourself out on the cross. That is not a part of the plan, right? But there's a difference between like self-sufficiency or self-compassion, right? Or self-love and selfishness. And I feel like that's the biggest thing a lot of spiritual people, empathic people misunderstand, is this thought that you're supposed to like sell yourself out and, like I say, lay yourself out on the cross, because that's what it means to be a spiritual person. But it doesn't, because the main person that's important that you're deprecating is the self. So like selling yourself out that's not spiritual, that's not godly, that's not in alignment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really a form of codependency masquerading, or a false piety that's masquerading. And they're telling me that's what the emperor is about, like masquerading itself, and it's codependent because it's saying that you're not self-sufficient. And that's the beautiful thing about the emperor. It's like the emperor isn't like a stone cold hard-nosed asshole. It's like he provides provision for his people. It's like he has like that external view of being stern and all of the things, but the truth of the matter is it comes from a place of strength, love, and compassion. So it's more or less him being attuned. If we were to put this in like people terms, this would be like if you think about a masculine, like someone who presents masculine externally in the world of form, you know, divine masculine type of stuff. And then in the inner world is divine feminine, meaning your connection to spirit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a person who can stand in their authority and their power because they have the whole spiritual realm behind them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be like all sunshine and rainbows type of stuff because they're coming from a true place of power and authority. And it's not them just caring about themselves, because an emperor is, you know, the emperor of a collection of kingdoms. You feel what I'm saying? So it's outside of just himself and his own family, right? There's a whole community of people, a whole kingdom of people that he's responsible for. And the decisions that he's making are for those people. So if he's not on his square, right? If he doesn't have it together, he can't help the entire kingdom, the whole kingdom, the empire, you know what I'm saying, is gonna crumble if he's only worried about himself. So I say all of that to say, my beautiful Taurians, I don't know why it is that became a whole channel rant, but I say that to say that it's not selfish for you to focus on yourself or take care of yourself. It's like, I think what has to be addressed here, and the reason why I'm saying all this is because I'm not doing extended this month, but anyway, it's needing to realize that it's a love substitute. Like feeling as if you have to lay yourself out on the cross and self-sacrifice and do everything for everyone else and completely neglect yourself. That's a love substitute. You feel what I'm saying? That's not real love. It's a form of like a lack of reciprocity because it's only giving to get. Because if you didn't give to get, you wouldn't be looking for nobody to save you. You feel what I'm saying? But anywho, that's been your soul session for the month of October. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I love you freaking face, and I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends.